Okay, so check this out, right? Gucci Mane, and I could have sworn I've heard him say this before, right? But Gucci Mane is saying, you know, he could be better than Eminem, something like that, something to that effect, right? But once again, I've heard a certain logic that I actually agree with on this, which is that how many times do you hear your friend, Gucci has said this by the way, how many times have you heard your friend pull up and they're bumping Eminem in the ride? That shit just doesn't happen. I just don't really hear it. And so I know I feel like a certain way about this personally, and I'll tell you why. Because I was there when he came out, all right? I was in my senior year of high school. It's like the 1999 to 2000 class year. That's my senior year. That's when Eminem came out. And so it's all of this blah, blah, blah about, oh, he's a white rapper. He's got Dr. Dre backing him. MTV says he's the shit. All that type of shit, right? But check this out. Gucci Mane does have a point. And quite frankly, it's a point that I've said myself, and I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with. And that is, like, listen, Eminem does not make the type of music that people who like to drive through the city and drive through the town, and they just want their speakers to knock. You know what I'm talking about. The motherfucking Rockford Fosgate 12s, the 15s, the JBLs, the Pioneers. You know what I mean? Which, now that I think about it, Pioneer speakers would look pretty dope in a new ride. A lot of these new rides are kind of compact though. Back in the day, they had the huge trunks. People would put speakers in their car, right? And truth be told, yeah, we wanted what I like to call rider music, which is like you're just rolling down the street, you're beating the block up, you're just driving through the city. It could be nighttime, daytime. You're feeling cool, you're feeling smooth, and you just want your beat to knock. You know what I mean? Some smooth, heavy bassline shit. Like, that's what the Dirty South sound is all about. And Eminem doesn't make that type of music. Eminem doesn't really make the type of music you can just cruise to, like, shit like that, right? Eminem, like, when I think of Eminem's rap, like, the way he twerks his voice and shit like that, I'm like, he kind of makes music for, like, white girls at a slumber party who are having a pillow fight, and they just got Eminem playing in the fucking background. You know what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying, right? It's like he doesn't make that style of music. He doesn't make shit that you could just ride to. You know what I mean? He makes music for number one, backpack rappers. Number two, battle rappers who are all obsessed about bars. And I'm like, okay, I get it. If that's the type of hip hop you like, that's the type of rap you like, is shit that's focused on bars, and then these weird bars where you're like dissing pop stars and just saying a bunch of crazy shit for shock value. I can get why somebody would like Eminem. Now, I'm not saying any of this shit to discredit him, because I know I like some Eminem songs too. I think he's a dope artist. You know what I mean? I think he's a dope artist. But I'm just not on this whole Eminem's a god bandwagon. He calls himself rap god. People have said in several conversations, even professionals in the business, have said that he's the greatest rapper ever, like of all time. And I'm like, and Gucci saying, maybe that's not the case. And I hate to say it, but I kind of got to agree with Gucci. Can we really consider Eminem the greatest if you don't really make music that people can ride to, people can dance to? I mean, on your third album, Marshall, you came out with a song that was clearly aimed at being commercial, clearly aimed at that da-da-da-da, like, come on, man, we knew what you were doing with that. Completely commercial, completely club bullshit. And it really wasn't your lane. You know what I mean? It wasn't your lane, and so it sounded awkward, to be honest with you. I wasn't digging that song. As a matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned, Eminem's career, those first two albums were pivotal. And for those that don't know, he had an album before he ever even met Dr. Dre. It's called Infinite. Look it up. And I heard it. So if you want to know what Eminem truly sounds like the real Eminem, you need to listen to Infinite. That's the real Eminem. That's the real. I think that might be before he came up with the Slim Shady concept. But either way, that's the real Eminem without the Dr. Dre, without the major label telling you what to do and what to look like and what type of singles you should put out. If you want to hear raw Eminem, go listen to Infinite. And so I'm not saying any of this shit to like hate on the man. You know what I'm saying? I have my own personal issues with his position in the rap game, and especially in comparison to what I've been through in the rap game as a result of just him being who he was. You know, you couldn't even be a white rapper of any sort without people comparing you to him. And you could, even though people are clearly making different distinct styles of music, people would, if you're a white rapper, people would automatically compare you to him and mention his name and try to get a reaction out of you on a subject. So I got to agree with Gucci though, man. In the end, I got to agree with Gucci. I've actually said it before Gucci Mane said it myself. Just the concept of, you know, rider music, do you make it or not? Dance music, do you make it or not? Music that would be in a club that people actually groove into, some shit that has some type of rhythm made for dancing and shaking ass and twerking and fucking just rolling down the street with that bass booming. Like even Snoop Dogg did that. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, they did that. They made rider music. That's what The Chronic was about. That's what Doggy Style was about. They shifted gears a little bit with the Dog Pound, but y'all get what I'm saying. Rider music, Dirty South music has always been rider music. Always. It had the bass, it had the rhythm, it had a certain groove to it, it had a certain feel to it that people could put it in the back of a Cadillac on some speakers, some 12, some 15, some 20, something like that. Some people would go as far as have bass mobiles with 30-inch speakers. So anyway, man, that's that. Eminem versus Gucci Mane. Do you think Gucci Mane has a point? Do you think Eminem's the greatest rapper of all time? Do you think Eminem is the best rapper there is out of the history of hip-hop? A lot of questions need to be asked, and a lot of answers need to be given so we can come to some type of general consensus about who, what, when, and where of the rap game. What position do people play? What role do they serve in this game? And that's it, man. I just wanted to open some ears and open some minds and share some thoughts with y'all. Makell Bird, Maktown TV. Peace.